life. I ain't getting out of bed today. Keep waking up from the previous night.
Well then, welcome to the inaugural episode of Game On, segment on Create Now, Sleep Later. We are playing Ark Evolved, and we're going to show you how to set up surefire, perfect way to get your backup generators placed correctly so you're not wasting resources, and how to hide the wires effectively. Can you first show them firing up generator 1, how everything turns on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see the light on generator 1 is working, and then the light on generator 2 is working. We set this up this way so you can see it without all the metal and framework and stuff, and you can see how simple this really is. The complicated part is actually setting these generators so they snap correctly, but we're going to show you how to do that. Can you shut off generator 1, turn on generator 2?
Yep.
Okay, same thing. Both the lights are on, so that's 100% effective way to have backup generators, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so shut that guy off. And then we're going to walk over to main base. Right?
Yep.
Alright, shall we?
Yep.
Okay. So I set this room up. Basically, you need at least 3 foundation lengths, 3 floor lengths to do this, but it doesn't really matter if you go any further than that, as long as you line everything up correctly. Now, the way I see most people do this is they place their walls, and they sort of place the generator in there, and then they try to get lucky, making sure these things snap correctly, and wind up having to destroy generators, which we don't want to do that. So the way I do it is I set up one wall on each side, so the generator is going to go inside here, basically. See, Johnny, what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So this is basically the outside left wall. I don't like to use exterior walls because obviously if they bust in that wall, they're right in your generator, so I like to put these things right in the middle of the floor, so at least they have 2 sections they have to break in. So what I do, once I have this set up, knowing my generator is going to sit here, I actually use the rivets of the metal flooring to line up where I want to go. So you can't see this, Johnny, but they'll be able to see it on the screen. And what I'm basically doing is lining up the crosshair of the cross cable exactly with the line where the 2 floor pieces meet. And the cross piece, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, just between 3 and 4. I'm going to place the first cable, just like that. See that?
Okay. Yeah.
Alright, so it's between rivets 3 and 4. Then we're going to put 1, and then 2. Okay?
Oh.
So now, we need to sort of put these walls in. Generator is irrelevant because it's going to snap where it's going to snap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at this point, where we put the walls doesn't make any difference because it doesn't matter. The only reason it can matter is if you place this wall, for example, like that. A wall is cheaper than a generator. So for that reason alone, I am going to place the walls.
Wait. Is it?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in other words, if I put the generator here and then I try to put the wall behind it, I got to bust up the generator and then, I waste the generator. But doing it this way, and you'll see, well, at least the people watching the video can see that the wall lines up precisely with the line of the cross cable. So we place that. So now our generator, we can place, but I am going to put the door frame in front of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle through the snap points to see how far in front of it I can get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, so one trick I learned is that before putting the generator in there, you want to actually have the doors in there first. Okay, I'm going to put the door like this. Do you see what I'm doing? So the door opens out.
Yeah.
And then my generator, boom, should fit right there.
Nice. Perfect.
Right? So remember, I use the rivets to measure it. So hopefully where everybody gets screwed up is if they don't do it this way, they come over here and everything is all screwed up. So I'm going to do the same thing now. I'm going to place my wall in the back, place my door here, door frame, well, I'll place the wall first.
I got you.
Alright, I'm going to take this, we're going to come out like this, and hopefully if I did this right, boom, perfect every time. You see what I mean?
Nice. Yep.
So a lot of times you see people doing this and
That's
they wind up destroying generators and stuff like that. So I'm going to open the doors, we're going to put a little gas in here. You don't need a lot. Okay, you finishing that up there? Okay. Okay, so we have two perfectly placed generators, and we left these front walls open so you can see us place the cables. So the first thing we need is we need a cable going up. Okay? We don't have a lot of choices where they go, they just go where they go. Now the backup part of this, just to test that this is working, is if we turn this on, you can see all these wires turn yellow. So that means they're getting electric, including this guy we just put right here. See that?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to shut this one off. Can you turn that one on?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can see it's all good to go. Alright. So we'll turn this off just because the sound is annoying. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is on the floor, we want to snap to the generator. Okay, you can see these are perfectly placed now. You don't have to do anything. Right? Now in a perfect world, this would be an outside wall, so I'm not going to bother doing all that, but obviously you can snap these things all the way back if you want. It doesn't really matter. And then up here, I like to snap them as well. So what you're basically doing, you're building a backup grid. You know what I mean, Johnny?
Yes.
So if some cheeky little Ark player comes in here and tries to destroy your generators, you're covered. One thing that's important about backup generators, they do have to be on the same floor. So you can't get cute, put them on other floors. I need outlets. So we're just going to put a few outlets, Johnny.
Okay.
The more outlets, the better, obviously, because if somebody gets in and destroys your outlets, then, you know, you're host.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably enough for demonstration purposes. And then we are going to go and get our... I think I left it in the safe.
What?
Would you like to go get the lamp posts and place them?
Yeah, sure. Alright. Got the lampposts.
There you go. How about one over here maybe? Right, there you go. Yeah, that's fine. Shows the deal. Okay.
Yep.
And then how about one that's being powered? Let's do one there. And put a lamppost, but there we go. Okay. Will you do the honors and turn on one of the generators?
Yeah.
This one? Alright, so as we can see, the light is on. The light is on. The light is on here. It's hard to see. Oh, you got to turn them on, right?
Yep.
Alright, so the sun's kind of come in on a bad angle here, but I'm going to show it again. One's being powered off the bottom grid. The other two as well are getting powered off the bottom grid. And this guy up here is getting powered up top, so we have full redundancy with both of our generators. So, job well done. And now, Johnny and I are going to show you, there was too much to do it in this one video. But we want to show you how you could go take the extra step to protect this bottom grid and make it really a pain in the neck for people to come in and destroy your wiring. I'm actually going to destroy this one because I can't get through. Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so I built this little demonstration here using fence foundations to do double walls. And there's plenty of videos on how to do that. Maybe at some point we'll do that as well, but I think people kind of know how to do it already. But basically what you're doing is when you're doubling up the walls, they're at a little bit of a different height. And you can do this with foundations. Again, there's plenty of people who show you how you can do that, but I don't like to put generators on the ground floor just because that's the easiest point people get in. Can you get up that ladder, bud? But you see there's two walls here. And then what we have is we have two ceilings on top of each other. And the purpose of that is that if we imagine the floor behind these windows, and you can't see because it's like, there you go. And if you can imagine we have these all across the floor, the simple thing to do is you would take this guy and cover your wiring. So now basically if somebody comes in and they see your wiring all on top and they start chomping away at that and beating it up, they might not think you have wiring underneath here that's also going to be redundant. I mean, if you put a bunch of outlets down there, they'll probably stick out, but the point is that they'll have to destroy a whole layer of flooring just to get to your wiring. So there's multiple ways to do this. Like I said, both with foundations and flooring, but I think I covered it all. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Any
Complete
questions
answer.
there, Johnny?
Not really.
So, I mean, obviously we could put, our air conditioners and everything else in here now. We're all set. We're all good to go. What I would normally do, just for defense purposes, is I would go up with
More
these wires.
turrets.
So, see here, like if we put this wire here, you'll see it's powered. And normally, what Johnny and I would do is we would have a separate, just one layer electric floor, and then we build our turrets out, through doors through doing that. So that would require another layer that somebody would have to come in, just in case they come in from the top. They don't get to your wiring and they don't get to your generator. So we might do a whole defense video later on, but we figured this was the biggest pain point. We see people ask us how to place these generators the right way because we don't seem to have to destroy 4 of them before we get them right. And I think we're good to go, right, John?
Yeah.
Right. So we'll do more of these Ark videos, and maybe we'll post some Halo 5 stuff later on. And thanks for watching.